We are back. What is going on? This is episode 94, the live production of the Client by Client podcast. I hope this finds you well. Happy Friday to my folks in the States, Saturday to those abroad. Today, we're talking about making your minimum viable product, your minimum viable program. If I can get all of my windows up here. Oh, yeah, here we go. If this is your first time here, drop me a number one. Would love to show you some love and say hello. For all of my repeat offenders, my current clients, past clients, friends, family, drop me some emojis in the chat. Drop me a happy Friday. Drop me the emoji with the cowboy hat on. That's my Friday emoji. If you didn't know, now you know. Today on the podcast over in Apple Podcasts and Spotify, episode 85 just went live, which is all about you and I talking about mindset. So go and check that one out. Along with the day before, client red flags, when to not take on a coaching client, can save you a lot of heartache and a lot of heartbreak just in that one episode. Let's hop in and let's bring today's episode to life. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the last episode, we talk about artificial intelligence. You've heard it on the news. You've heard it from other coaches. You've heard it on the internet, ChatGPT, AI, and all of these other applications and uses for artificial intelligence. But the question that you're probably posing to yourself, if you're not already, is should you be using it? So in the last episode, we talked top to bottom. Is there a use case for AI? Should you be using it? When and where? If so be sure to backtrack one episode to understand that and to get the full picture on AI and your coaching business. Today, I want to talk about how to create your MVP, your minimum viable program. Before we do that, over these last episodes, we've been talking a lot about mindset. We've been talking a lot about the importance of getting your mind right, getting your heart right, and how to leverage your thoughts, feelings, and emotions to get you better, longer lasting results in your business and in your life. And it has been quite crazy seeing the changes in the energy, in the thought process and patterns of our students over in the Get Clients program. One of our students has been not having the easiest of times. I think she would agree. And about 3 weeks ago, she came on the call and I asked her what she wanted. And she says, I want to be full-time coaching. I asked what the goal is. She says, I want to be full-time coaching. And so I thought it would be proper on that call for us to really extrapolate that desire so that we could get it right. And what we identified together is that when you want something, you come from a place of a little something we call lack. You come from the state of not having. And when you launch a new desire with the little seed of lack and want, and therefore not having, you include that in your manifestation, in your desire, in your intention. There's this quote that wherever you go, there too you will be, or something like that. Like wherever you go, there you are. And when I think of that thought, I think that you take whatever thoughts you and feelings and emotions you have with you wherever you go. And so there is no coaching program, advice, strategy, or ad budget big enough, good enough, proven enough to outperform the wrong mindset. So for some, that might be negativity. For others, it might be getting your language and your wording right. And so if we take that want with us everywhere we go, we're going to be fed a reality back of the circumstances of not having, of the lack thereof. And so we made one small shift in the wording of her desire to just omit the word want and to go from I want to be full-time coaching to I am full-time coaching, and leveling up a little bit more to say I'm so very thankful that you see that I'm now full-time coaching. See, the issue is that we look at our lives as the past, as the present, and the future. And the reality is the past no longer exists. The future is not promised. It's therefore not real. The only real thing is the current moment and is the now. Most people take all of the past circumstances and fears and frustrations and assumptions and details of everything that's happened to them in the past, and they bring them into the current moment. So most people relive the same life day after day after day with the same circumstances, with the same details mostly, right? You relive the same day because of your past thoughts, actions, and feelings because you bring them into the current moment. You wake up assuming things are going to be the exact same as they were the day before, and therefore they are, whether you're intentional about it or not. What I am an advocate for is for you choosing what it is that you desire and then thinking from that standpoint. So if you were to put yourself in the shoes of that desire being realized in the future and how you would feel then and what you'd be thinking, doing, and being in that future moment. And if you bring that into the current moment right now, there is no other thing that can happen if you focus your thoughts and your energy on that future moment and bringing it into the now with the purest of intentions than for the universe, God energy to line up the circumstances, situations, and details necessary for that to be your current reality. I say all that to say that we took out the word want from I want to be a full-time coach to I am so very thankful that I am now full-time coaching. And 2 weeks later, so 3 calls from then, it was a total of 3 weeks. 3 calls later, she came back onto the call. And in previous calls, she'd also been frustrated with her current source of income, her current job. If I memory jogs correctly, she really kind of felt like none of her coworkers were looking out for her. Maybe they even had it out bad for her. And things were very unstable. She was very uncertain about what was going to happen next. Would I need to move back home, back home to another country? Would I be able to stay here? There's all of these fears and these uncertainties. She showed up just 3 calls later and said, my job just extended my contract through December. And my boss just came to me and said that she's rallying to make me a full-time position here. Now that you and I can both agree is not her all of a sudden full-time coaching. But it would, to me, make sense that in between now her current source of income and being a full-time coach, that one of the things that would happen to make it easier for her to become full-time coaching, and one of the steps, if there are steps in between now, not full-time coaching and having no clients, to being full-time coaching and having a program full of coaching clients, that in between there, the income would become more stable. And not only has income become more stable, they're trying to make that a permanent position for her. Now, she doesn't need to stay there forever. Nothing's permanent. But doesn't it make sense that in between not full-time coaching and full-time coaching, that there would be some income and a step that you can take in that right direction? And that's how this stuff works. That sounds absolutely magical and mystical to most other people. To most other people not listening to the show, not tuned in, not aware of how their thoughts create things. And to everyone else, it will look like miracles will have happened. They will ask her, what are you on? What are you even doing? What is happening? And they will look at it as magical. But something, you can call it magical if you want. You can call it whatever it is that you want. But something changes when you get in control of your thoughts, that you look within and you change the focus of your thoughts and you change them from looking at the outside circumstances, how things have been, and you start to think about how things could be, how you want for things to be, and then start getting grateful well in advance for how things now are. And when you do that, you start to pull the circumstances of the imaginary into your current moment. You got to see it to believe it. I know many of you have experienced things like this, but maybe applying that into your coaching business and into your online business has been a little bit difficult. I implore you to get around the people and the support and the help that you need to help change those thoughts that you're having, to make them pure and to get super intentional so that you can get to where it is that you want to be. So I thought I'd start by sharing that today because it's been absolutely amazing seeing these changes happen for my students, and also seeing the happenstances and serendipity of things happening again in my life too. So I hope that serves you in some way. Let's now crack in and talk about your minimum viable program. Let's start by talking about what happens if you don't get this right. If you don't get this right, the first thing that happens is that you risk creating a coaching program, a product, a service that your market doesn't want. And that's frustrating because making good programs, making good products and things It takes time and it takes a lot of energy. And there's nothing more frustrating than when you think something is amazing and maybe the market and the world doesn't. That's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is that you actually make your coaching program, your course, your product, your service, you get some paying clients or a paying client, and it turns out that they don't like it or it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. And that's even more frustrating because now you have to deal with unhappy customers and clients who are questioning if this is the right thing for you, which disturbs your thought process, disturbs your energy for at minimum. And then they're asking for refunds. So now you have yourself questioning your entire journey, backtracking, doing all of these things that can get you in that downward spiral. That's what happens if you don't get today's episode right. Now let's talk about what to do and how to create your minimum viable coaching program. The first thing you need to do, and this is for you if you're brand new at the starting line, aiming to be a full-time coach and aiming to be book solid. This is also for you if either your current offer has not been working at all, maybe you created an offer and you haven't gotten clients yet, or maybe you're at a brand new starting place and you're thinking about changing your offer, you're thinking about changing your service or your coaching program or your online course, and you're looking for the right way to go about it to, as much as possible, guarantee your success. Now, we already talked about at the top of this that when you get your thoughts right, reality will follow. So once you have your thoughts and your energy in alignment, here's what you need to do. Here's what's required. Thing number one is you got to create an outline. I'm talking about grabbing out a good old pen and a piece of paper, even a notepad, a sticky note, and in the simplest forms, writing out what it would include. Now, what I'm the biggest advocate for is when you're launching your coaching program is to have it be no more than 6 to 12 weeks at most for whatever it is that you are going to deliver, that you would love to deliver to your paying clients. So you need a result, of course, that you need to help them to get. So like in my coaching program, the first result we want to help you to get is getting your first 3 to 5 clients. Then the second result is getting 3 to 5 clients a month. And then it's getting 3 to 5 clients a week. So those are like the tiers and therefore the steps. You need a result you need to get. If you help single moms lose weight, well, maybe it's helping single moms lose their first 10 pounds. If you help single moms get their high school bodies back, that's probably where you would backtrack and start, is look at these first 10 pounds. So you need a single and zero in on the big result that you want to help your clients get over 6, 9, or 12 weeks. 6 weeks for those of you who really believe in what you got and believe in your ability to deliver it. If you need a little bit more time, 9 to 12 weeks is fine. Just the issue is that you're going to feel inclined to add way too much. And then what you will find if you follow this process is that you might have a student who gets a little stuck on 1 week. And so now you got to extend out, you got to readjust and refigure. So I'd rather have you simplify and boil things down to a 6-week coaching program. And maybe you include 2 extra weeks as a bonus to either give yourself room or to add on some additional time and sweeten up the deal with them. So the first thing you got to do is create an offer. Let's stick with 6 weeks. What I would think about if I am you is what 6 things do you need to communicate to them, coach them on, and work them through in order to get them the result. You can deliver this one-on-one. That's how I got my start. And I delivered this one-on-one, and that allowed for me to create a program that I knew I could go and record and then have people go through passively and go through without me needing to be there. You could also say, these are the 6 weeks. Here's the outline of it. And then when you do get your first couple clients, you go and follow this process we're going to talk about here for delivering it live. We'll be talking about that throughout the show. The first thing that you need, though, is an outline. So what I would like to see is just bullet points of what the title of the first and the 6 coaching sessions that would be inside of there. So for me, the first thing that if I were to redo my program, it might be getting your mind right, like getting into alignment. The second thing would be choosing your perfect niche. The third thing would be creating your minimum viable program, what we're talking about here. Fourth would be creating your social media presence. Fifth would be getting leads. Sixth would be booking calls. Seventh would be the bonus of maybe converting them into high-paying clients. Or I omit the first call about mindset and alignment, and I make that a bonus as a bonus session that we're going to do one-on-one because I like to deliver in groups, or it might be like a mastermind that we do with all of the clients at the end of it to talk about getting the energy right and those sorts of things. Many ways that you can engineer this. The first thing that you need is a program outline. I would really try your damnness to make this happen within 6 calls, within 6 sessions, within 6 videos. And that is just going to be able to also, like, you got to think about your client's attention span and making it through. And they're far more likely to get to the finish line in something that you have for 6 weeks. They may not get the result within 6 weeks, but they can get through your coaching program. And then they're going to have that for however long you decide. Maybe it's lifetime, maybe it's a year. They're going to have access to that, and maybe even continue access to you in the Facebook group that you end up putting together. And so they're going to have that as the initial coaching and then support it along the way if that's the way you choose to engineer it. The first thing that you need is a program outline. I would highly implore you to make this a 6-week, 6-module, 6 video lessons, 6 coaching sessions program with no more than 9 to 12 weeks inside of it. Thing number 1, create your program outline. Second, once you have your program outline, now you got to put things in motion. And what this is all about is asking real people in your market for feedback. You're not saying, do you want to talk about buying this thing? What you're saying is, I'm creating this new thing and I would love your feedback on it. Are you open to giving me some feedback? And you can put this in a Google form or a Typeform or even a Google Doc. And a couple things that I would be asking if I am you, and you can also get people on a Zoom call and say, hey, I'm doing this thing and I would love some feedback from you. And you would describe to them in a paragraph what it is. This is a 6-week coaching program where we talk about this thing, and that thing in hopes of getting you to this end result, with the aim of getting you to this end result or on your path to it over the course of 6 weeks. Once you have a program description, which should be no more than a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences maximum. So that would be like at the top of your Google form or at the very top of your call, you would explain that. Then I would ask 3 specific questions. The first question that I would ask is, what do you like most about that? Like, what stands out to you most? What do you feel would be most valuable? All different ways you can ask that same question. Second would be, what would you change, add, modify, or remove? Now you're getting the feedback from them. Like, what of it doesn't sound of value? What of it would you add? Did I miss anything? Or what would you modify to make this even better? Question number 3 is, would you like it? Do you want it? Would you like to join us if I do this thing? And for anyone who asks no, totally cool. Thank them for their feedback, appreciate them, show them love, do anything that you can to show that appreciation. But for anybody who says, yeah, that sounds awesome, I would absolutely love that, this is where you do a little something called take their money for the program and get them enrolled. And in that paragraph, that intro paragraph, you might include, eventually this program will cost $5,900. Eventually this program will cost $7,500. But for the first 3 members, I'm doing a special incentive where it's only $1,000 or it's only $1,500 for the first 3 people. Then at the end, you're going to ask them, you've already teed it all up. They know how long it is. They know what it is that they get. They know how much it is. And then you're asked, do you want it? And for anyone who says yes, it's okay, awesome. I can get you started. Or even better, you say, would you like it? And they say yes. It's like, awesome. Do you like bonuses? Like, yeah, well, okay, I'm actually going to include an additional 2 weeks where we do a mastermind at the end, or I'm going to include additional 2 sessions one-on-one, or I'm going to do these 2 things at the end for a group where it's X, Y, and Z, and here is what you get. And so you've asked if they want it. They say yes. You sweeten the deal even more with some bonuses, and then you say, okay, awesome. What would be the best way for you to get started? I could do Visa, MasterCard, American Express, PayPal. What would be easiest and make the most sense for you? And take their money. Now, I know that sounds wrong, but like, take their money, get them started, get them enrolled. Say, okay, awesome. So our next steps are, let's get you registered and enrolled. This is where you get them to pay before they leave that Zoom session or before they end that conversation with you. And then you would say, here's when we kick off. And in between now and then, here's another bonus that you get. You get a one-on-one with me to get you prepped. What I want to do is identify what part of the program is going to be the most beneficial for you. And this will also help me to even like make this even better as we go. So I'm going to make this with you in mind. And think of how big of a win that is for someone who's signing up with you. They're getting an extreme discount of getting started right now. They're getting 2 additional bonus sessions at the end in this scenario. And they're now getting a bonus that makes sure they get even more out of it. And it's also the most affordable time that they could ever join your help However, this works extremely well whether you're at the starting line looking for your first couple clients, or maybe you've stalled out a little bit and you want a little cash injection and you're ready to start a new program that you really believe in, that comes from the right place in your heart, the right place in your mind, and from a place of service and helping your clients out. And in doing this, just in asking for feedback, you will wind up at the end potentially with some folks who say yes, and maybe even walk away from that scenario at the end of that day with some cash in hand. Thing number 2, you got to ask real people in your market for feedback. And when you ask them question number 3, would you like it? You actually sign them up and you get them registered. Third, this is all about how you deliver the thing. So at this point, you have an outline on a document of what the 6 sessions, 8, 9, or 12 sessions are, the 12 weeks or the 6 weeks. Which is what I would have you to aim for, is lower is better. And then, because less is always more, guys. I don't have enough time to go into that today, but less is more with coaching too. The next thing that you need to do is deliver it. And what I would highly recommend that you do is one of 2 things. If you are starting something new and you're building your confidence in, deliver it one-on-one. Give them the recording sessions. They'll have access to them forever. That's something you can build value around. But if you have confidence in what it is that you coach in and you like this sort of method, I would deliver it live. So what I would be aiming to do if I'm you is I would be aiming to get my first 3 paying clients in, and more if I have time. I would set a date on my calendar where the first call would happen, maybe 3 weeks out from that first client signing up. And then I would have the calls at the same day of the week at the same time for the following 6, 8, 9, or 12 weeks. Let's use 6 as the main thing here. For the next 6 weeks, they're Tuesdays at 11 a.m. PST. And if you can't make them, they'll be recorded. And if you have questions beforehand, you can post them in the group that I'm going to create. And then I can make sure to answer it. Or if you have questions afterward, I will make sure that you're taken care of and that we have that answered, because it would probably serve the whole group, the whole program here together. So reassure them if they can't make it live, if you're going to deliver it live, that they can ask questions and that you'll make sure they're answered and they'll have access to the recordings. Or you can deliver this one-on-one with each client, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just going to take you more time, but that can be valuable in getting the direct feedback. And then also getting your confidence built up while you're growing this thing and delivering this thing and making it happen. Ryan, what's up, brother? Great reminder to always check in with the current clients and with anyone I've worked with. Yeah, absolutely. It's super important. The biggest clue if you want some new clients is go and find the folks who've already given you money and super trust in you already. And that can be an amazing way to add more value and to potentially increase that lifetime value of those clients as well. Success leaves clues, and your past successes leaves clues too. So great reminder there. Appreciate you. Good seeing you, bro. Deliver it live. So even if you deliver this one-on-one with your first 3 clients, on your 4th client, I would recommend that you start delivering it live and clue in your past 3 clients to say, we're going to be doing another round of this as a group. And as an additional bonus, I would like to give you access to that. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of one-on-one, I'm going to go live Tuesdays in the Facebook group or on this Zoom link at 11 a.m. We're going to go for about 45 minutes. And at the end, we're going to have time for some Q&A. This is where you can share any lessons that you've learned, ask any further questions. You're going to get a little bit better and a different view of what we've been talking about here so far. And we're going to do this in a group environment. So you're going to see what other people are asking, what they're wondering, and just get help from their questions that you might not be asking. And we're all going to have a good time on this. And then you're going to have access to that program as well. So that's even more value they're getting for this initial thing that they opted in for. And they took a little bit of a risk on, and now they're getting even more value. Do you think they're going to be happy or unhappy with that? They're going to be astonished and amazed and very thankful. So then when you deliver it live, or if you choose to deliver it live first, what you would do is you record it, you do your Zoom, and then you can edit that down. If you have a Mac in Finder, there's an edit button. You can just trim off the beginning and trim off the end, spit it out as a new clip, bada bing, bada boom. You can YouTube and Google all of this, or you can use a video editor, or you can hire someone for $10, $15. You can talk to your niece or nephew or your son or your daughter, and they could probably help you to do this too. Or you could just upload the whole thing, and there's no issue with that. No one's going to complain. They can fast forward, they can click around, they can tap around and find the right spot where it starts, or you just get right down to business when you get going so that you don't have to edit at all afterwards. So then you're going to edit it and post it. And what I would recommend is a Facebook group. Stop wasting money on Teachable, on Kajabi, on School, on whatever, and use something for free that gets you started. Guys, I still run my program in a Facebook group because I find that it is still engaging, it is still immersive, and everyone has Facebook already. So I do this as a way, you've heard me say this, to show my clients that you don't need something fancy, because you don't. And also, it's completely free, and it's actually engineered pretty well to get people through the education, to show their progress, and to help them through it. So just leverage a Facebook group for free to host at least your minimum viable program. Let's get you to 10, 15K a month in consistent clients, and then you can use that to spend on whatever it is that you want, including a content management system like a school, like a Teachable, like a Kajabi if you want. And then after you've delivered it live and edited it and posted it in your Facebook group, your only role now is to keep selling that thing. Now it's complete. Now you don't need to be there to deliver one-on-one unless you include that as a bonus, unless you include that as a piece of your program that you're promising. And now every time you get a new student, they can go through the curriculum that's already there. So they're going to be getting results the second they get into your Facebook group, the second they sign up for help. And then on top of that, you can have the bonuses listed in there, like the mastermind or the 2 extra Q&A calls or whatever you end up calling them. And you can tee that up as a bonus so that when you sell your program and you get to the end of the call and they say that they're in and they would love to get going and get started, you can say, do you like bonuses? Okay, cool. You're also going to get this mastermind that's already in your group, or you're going to get this additional thing, this one-on-one with me when you're done with the 6 weeks, or at the end of it with the 90 days, or when you get this milestone. And now they're going to be even more happy. And this is all in just how you engineer your initial outline of your program, what you choose to install. And you can use that to create even more happy clients, more happy customers who are excited and thankful about their decision to choose you as their online coach. In the next episode of Client by Client, we're getting back to the commandments of successful online coaches. So if you want to know the next commandment for getting to $1 million a year in your online coaching business, having a coaching business capable and worthy of earning $1 million in its lifetime at all, then be sure to come back to the next episode to hear about what commandment we'll be talking about. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, in your email inbox, where you're losing leads in the cracks and you're leaving a lot of money and clients on the table every single month? That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a free way for me to manage my pipeline and turn prospects into clients has quickly become a favorite tool of my private clients and many members in the Leverage Coach community. Get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. To get your free copy now, all you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got hundreds of coaches from all over the world in varying coaching niches, all implementing my methods and frameworks 100% for free for growing and scaling their coaching business. Get around them, get around me, and get access to trainings and resources to help you get past 5 to 10K a month. All you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients or doubling your online client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But working with the right people is super important to me. So only respond to this if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 6 months to a year. You would like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every single month without wasting money and time on paid ads. If you have at least 300 friends on a social platform, email list, or group, you are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last, but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram app icon, find me at WhatUpJeremy, follow and binge on some content while you're there. And then I want for you to message me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and your vision for the next 12 months. And then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping students from all over the world in many different online coaching niches. And we'll also identify what part of the program will likely make the biggest impact on your business the soonest. That way you know what to expect. For all the details, all you have to do is find me on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one. Cheers. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, thanks for the thumbs up and the likes. Super appreciate you. If you made it all the way through to the end, I want to know, what is your favorite delectable treat? What is your favorite dessert? What is your go-to? What gets your sweet tooth going? That's what I want to know here today. If you made it to the end, drop it in the comments. I'll circle back. I'll share with you mine. You probably already know mine. We'll see. All right, guys, it's Friday. That means it's time to follow up. You still have time. Go sell something. You'll feel better rolling into the weekend with the win. That's it for me, team. Peace.